Hi, I wanted to take some time to introduce myself today. My name is Cheris, and I am the maker and sole proprietor of 3 small businesses. One is my vintage booth at a local antique mall. It is called Cherished. It's on the 3rd floor of the Leavenworth Antique Mall in Leavenworth, Kansas at 505 Delaware. I love cottagecore. I love the 70s, mid-century modern, vintage. I'm always on the hunt for vintage things. So if you go to my booth, you're going to find a lot of that. My second business is Honey's House, and that is my eBay store. So I'm an estate sale shopper, a thrift store shopper, a garage sale shopper, and on occasion a hit the brakes and pick something off the curb person. So that's kind of where that goes. My third business is one that I'll share some, but my confidence probably isn't as great in my making. I have Cherished-curations that I make and take to makers fairs or craft fairs. That is some of what I'll be showing you. I love making, but I'm still, I guess, getting confidence in what I put together, how it looks. But what I've decided is that it doesn't matter what it looks like if I like it. And if I don't like it, guess what? I will wipe it out and start over and make it into something else. So there we go. I want to share my journey with you as I grow through my 3 businesses. My eBay store has been open I think I sold my first item in 2011, but I didn't really get serious about the eBay store, Honey's House, until a little over 2 years ago. It might have been 3. And it was after I had retired. I used to have a home office when I was working. And so we got through a tax season and it was like, wow, I don't have all these deductions I used to have after I retired. So I thought I should start a small business. I knew some people close to me who were doing that. And so I decided to sell some things on eBay regularly if I could. First thing, I looked around my house, picked up some items. I remember it was February the 14th, because I told my husband, I want to start this little business called Honey's House on eBay. I don't want anything for Valentine's Day. I just want you to be excited about what I go bring home from a thrift store today and encourage me that, yes, you can sell those things. Yes, you can figure out how to ship them. Yes, you can figure out how to price them. All that. And he did. He is fantastic. I've been married to Randy. We keep saying almost 50 years. I think it's 47, or is it 48? I don't know. But we have to count, so it's been that long. Anyway, so he was so excited for me to start my little venture. And mostly I just kind of started for some of those tax shelter things, or to get some of those deductions again. But after I got started, I saw that I loved it, and I decided to sell more. And I remember the first couple of days, so it was hilarious. I mean, the sound. If you've ever sold anything on eBay, it's that cha-ching sound when something sells. I would wake up during the middle of the night, the first couple of days, just looking to see, did I miss it? Did I sell something? I know, crazy now to think about. But if you're new trying to sell eBay, maybe you've done the same thing. Tell me, comment below. Anybody else do that at the very beginning? Can you remember the very beginning? Are you thinking about doing it? Well, let me know. Please comment on that. Am I the only one? Anyway, after a week or 2, I actually sold my very first item. Was a small toy that I sold, other than the 2011 item that I posted. That's another story. It was a good story. I'll tell it sometimes about the basketball. But this little toy I shipped, I was so proud to figure out how to print a shipping label, how to buy it through eBay, how to wrap a toy. I was overkill, I'm sure it was. I packed it in so many things and then put it in a box. I think I had it packed in a little plastic box. I mean, and it was just a few inches, this little toy, like a G.I. Joe size toy. But it got there safely. Anyway, that was the beginning. And now, after 2.5 years, 3.5 years, I'll have to look again. I have over 800 to 900 items in my store. I've kind of streamlined what I'm picking up to list on eBay. At first, I didn't know. Somebody would say, well, what's your niche? And I was like, I have no clue. At first, I picked up some clothes. I thought, oh, these are really nice. I'll sell these. I discovered over time, I do not like to sell clothes on eBay. Too many measurements, too many questions, too many variables. I do sell vintage clothes at my at the Antique Mall in Leavenworth. I do take clothes up, and so you can find those in the loft. All the clothes at the Antique Mall are in the loft, and that is its own little stairwell up into the loft, and such cool clothes. Many vintage pieces, retro, just some good pieces too, lots of name brands. So that's where my clothes are now. Now, I took the time to list some clothes on eBay over these last couple to 2-3 years. So I didn't take off what I've listed, but I'm slowly but surely thinning those out. Anyway, that was not my niche. I believe my niche is vintage items that can be packed without a lot of trouble. You know, I'm willing to pack things the size of a big bread box and beyond a little bit. I do have sold several Hamilton's printer boxes and shipped those. But what I found is I'm selling them at my booth, my vintage booth on the Leavenworth Antique Mall. So I don't list those and ship those anymore. That's difficult. It's just time consuming. It's not so difficult as it is just time consuming. So what's my niche? Well, like I just listed, you can find some beautiful stainless steel appliances from the 1960s and 70s that I have picked up recently at estate sales. I've tested them, I've cleaned them. I put a General Electric high dome electric skillet on just recently on my store, Honey's House, and then an electric stainless steel coffee maker. It's a 10 to 12 cup, gorgeous, makes great coffee, and I appreciate a good strong cup of coffee. Anyway, it's a percolator. So those are the kinds of things that I'm finding that I really like to ship through my eBay store. Now, the Maker's Fair I'm getting ready for, I've been upcycling, restoring, making from scratch, saving items, just all kinds of things. Here's for example. This was a little antique vintage print in this frame. And now the frame was falling apart. It was, the picture was actually falling out, and so I took it all apart and I restored the frame with some nails and glue, and then I put the picture originally right back in like it was. So this picture is vintage to antique. I'll have to double check on the dates. And then I re-gilded with gilding or wax, rub and buff. And then I redid the back and covered it. I'm seeing that I've got a couple of bleed throughs on my glues, but it's solid now, guys. So it's a restored primitive frame with an original piece of art. So I just have to put a hanger on the back of this, and that's a for instance of some things I'll do. I took this. This is going to become, I think it was just a little sign from Temu, enjoy the little things. But I'm going to put this on some background with some pink roses, kind of that cottagecore pink rose. Beautiful. That's the background that's going to go behind that frame, that little picture. And it'll be placed in this frame that I restored. This was a really ugly old silver and white frame that had some, I don't know, from this early 2000s, maybe artwork in it. It was just way outdated. So I've taken this frame, and at this point, I've painted it this moss green and then done a little bit of antiquing wax around some of the edges to give it a little age. That's an example of some of the things I'll do. Anyway, Maker's Fair is coming up May the 9th, so I will do some video that day if I can. Hopefully I'm so busy I can't, but I did really well at this Maker's Fair last year, and so I'm hoping to do the same again. I'm taking a lot of items. Anyway, when I get that done, I'll show you that. So we talked a little bit about my booth. We talked about eBay. We've talked about being a maker. So you have Cherished, my vintage booth on site in Leavenworth at the Leavenworth Antique Mall. You have my eBay store, Honey's House. And then you have Cherished-curations, which is what I take to Maker's Fair. That's what I do. I am learning right along with you. There's a video I'm going to be posting about my first ever resin pour I did today. I already can see there's going to be some issues with a couple of pieces, and then a couple seems like they're going to turn out pretty well. So I've used resin one time in a class that I took at one of my favorite shops, the Small Hinge in Bonner Springs, Kansas. Hey guys, yes, I'm giving you a shout out because you're my favorite place to buy from. Anyway, I used resin there, but what I really learned from there was a little bit goes a long ways and take it slow. I forgot that a little bit as I got started with this resin that I made and poured and filled today. So I slowed down. My next molds, I think that I did the second bunch here today, I hope are better. So, but again, it's the first time I've ever mixed resin, so I'll put that video on so you can see it. So what else? I am a grandma. I have 10 grandchildren. I'm a retired teacher. I have 3 grown kids who've married 3 wonderful human beings that I love very much. They all live within 45 minutes. I can see any of my kids anytime. My grandkids range in ages 4 to 16, and they're very busy, and I get to several of their activities, but I don't get to all of them. I wish I could say I did, but I don't. So if you can figure that out, how to be 2 or 3 places at once, you let me know. I haven't figured that out yet. Very important to me also as my church. I am a born-again believer. I just can't say enough about what the Lord has done for me in my life. It could be so different if it hadn't been for him. So I just give him all the glory in everything, and he's so good to me. Through the good days, through the trials, through whatever, he is so good to me. So what do I do there at my church? For the last 14 years, I've been a children's ministry director for grades 1 through 6, and we use the rotation workshop method in our Sunday school for those kiddos, and they have a great time. I'll tell you more about that another time. It is an amazing way to teach kids so that they love to be there. It's not sit and get. It is not worksheets. It is science, it's drama, it's theater, it's crafts, it's computers. We use all those things to still teach biblical lessons but to do it in a way that kids are interested in. I've been a Sunday school teacher since 1985, I think, and this is currently 2026. That's a big part of who I am, is my church and my family. These other things are awesome. They're my hobbies. They're my bucket list from after I retired. I guess I should say I retired pretty early from education. One of my grandchildren, he's in remission. You need to know that, and doing really well. But one of my grandchildren had cancer, so I retired early in order to help with him and the family at that time. And he's doing really well. He was only 7 at the time. He's 15 now and healthy. That's the good news. So I subbed for a while in schools that I had taught in, and decided that I didn't want to do that all the time, and that I had always wanted to attend state sales and shop and make things, and so that's what I'm doing. I'm doing what I love. It makes me some money, but I'm not ever going to get rich at it, but that's not the goal. It's to have a good time and to share my passion, and to share my finds, and to increase my community with other people who enjoy some of the same things that I do. And that's what's happening. So this is a long video, almost 15 minutes talking about myself. That's enough for today. We'll do more another time. How about that? You guys have a great day. God bless you, and welcome to my world.